Let's put this comment on there. Pinned. Okay. Hello. Hi. Let's see if I can wave. Hello. Hi, everyone. People are joining. Amazing. Hi, guys. How are you? I feel like it's been a minute. Hi, Aisha. Nice to see you here. Ooh, Maury, of course. Hi from California. Oh, my parents are from California. I wish I could go back. People are joining. Leo. Hello. Hello. Hi, guys. How are you? Hello. How is everyone enjoying their Aries season? What's been going on? Like, it is getting hot where I'm at right now. It is definitely spring, but it honestly feels more like summer. So I don't know where you guys are. I actually did a poll recently and it said 90% of you guys were experiencing summer, but then 10% of you guys are experiencing fall. So I thought that was interesting. Oh, thank you, Lou. Hi, guys. Hello. Yeah, and someone else DM'd me saying that they live at the equator. So I guess it's like the same season all the time. Hi from France. Hello. So I thought that was funny. Oh, I'm glad you're excited, Crystal. Thank you guys. Hi, Narika. Yay. How are you? People are joining in. I know it's been like a while since I went live, so I'm super excited to do that now. And actually saying that, let me give you a quick like personal update because I feel like I've been kind of MIA. I've been feeling guilty about it. But there's honestly been so much going on personally. Like I think I told you guys before, but I've been looking for a house, like we're trying to buy a house. And if you guys know, like this is literally the worst time in years to buy a house. Like it is the worst market. There are too many people looking for a house and not selling houses. So it is super competitive and like that's really where all my attention has been going on. So we actually just got an offer accepted, which was super exciting on this whole house, which is a beautiful house. It has a wonderful backyard. It has its own private water, like all these things. But we just did the house inspection yesterday and literally it was so eye-opening because there's so many problems with the house basically. And there's all these like structural issues, electric issues, like all of these problems that we don't know if we're going to move forward with the house anymore. So it's really, frustrating and disappointing because it's taking such a long time, but I'm feeling the sense like both practically and also spiritually that we're supposed to be moving on to a new house, which is really difficult, especially in this market. But that is also why I am super excited for the new moon coming up in Aries because it's really bringing this energy of like a fresh start or a reset. So I do feel like astrologically, maybe it is a good time to let go and to embrace something new. So that's just where I've been at. I know some of you guys are looking for houses too, so hopefully it is going better for you guys. But thank you to everyone who is joining. Nicole, Charlie, hello. So today we are going to be talking about the new moon in Aries that is coming up this weekend. And I will talk all about like what the new moon means, what it represents, and specifically, I have felt like there are certain rituals that I really want to share with you guys actually about this new moon and certain things that have been coming through to me really strongly. So I want to share that with you because I do feel like this is a big time of activation is what I want to say for all of us. Like I feel like there are new things that are being activated or initiated personally, mentally, and physically in our lives. So I am super excited to go into all of that. So I will be talking for approximately an hour and I will try my best to keep up with the comments and try to respond as needed. But yeah, I might miss a lot of them. I'm sure I will. So maybe I will answer more questions at the end, but keep commenting and keep asking your questions and I will answer them as I can basically. Okay. Yay, exciting. Hi everyone. Okay, so let me just have a sip of water and then we can get started. Okay. I think we can start now. I think enough people have joined. Yay, hello. Okay. So, hi Madly. Hello, Indica, Stones. Will this live stay? I will repost this after this is all done, so you don't have to worry if you can't stay the entire time. I will repost it to IGTV. Cool. Caddy, Nanners. Okay, guys, let's get started. So, today we are talking about the new moon in Aries coming up on April 11th. So, let's start with dates and times. It is going to be on Sunday, April 11th. It is at 7:31 p.m. Pacific time, 10:31 p.m. Eastern time, 2:31 a.m. GMT. So for those of you guys in GMT, that's going to be the next day basically. And then it's also going to be at 12:31 p.m. Australian time. So it is also going to be the next day for you guys in Australia. So mark that on your calendar because obviously we will be starting to feel the effects of this moon ramping up as we approach the weekend, as we get into Sunday, and then the beginning of next week will also be really powerful times to tap into this energy as well. So if you can't make it on Sunday, don't worry because you still have plenty of time for rituals and clearing and manifestation on the days that follow. So just mark that on your calendar. But this new moon in Aries, it's really exciting. I will say this new moon happens every year. It happens once a year in Aries season, of course, because that's when the sun is in Aries. And this new moon specifically is really one of the most powerful portals or just planetary events for a fresh start or for a new beginning. It really has the connotation of birth, basically, like something being born or something new coming into view, something new entering our lives. You guys know the new moon, in simplicity, it represents a new beginning or fresh energy coming in. The new moon is dark and then it grows until it becomes a full moon and then it wanes. But new moons represent new beginnings, and so does Aries, because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It really represents birth, creation, the spark of life, just something new coming into view from nowhere. It's kind of like the Big Bang, right? So I definitely feel like a new moon in Aries is the energy of this explosive new beginning or an explosive start, a really rocket launch towards initiation, activation. Like all of those words are really coming strong to me. So I definitely feel like this is a very powerful, potent time to start something new in your life, initiate a new project, initiate a different side of yourself, activate a side of yourself that maybe has been dormant or has, you've been afraid to express that side. Invite something new into your life. Go after things that are really exciting. Aries is a passionate, impulsive rather, but confident and fearless type of energy. So they are not afraid to go after what they want, even if it's not guaranteed to work, even if they might fail. They have that warrior energy to go after things. So it's really the time to invite those types of experiences into your life, whether it's starting something new or starting a new project or just trying to do something differently, like something in a way that you've never done it before, like approaching dating in a different way, approaching your spouse in a different way. It's really the moon that will help you reset, turn a new leaf, like have a fresh slate. All of those things come to mind. And what I will say is that when we're trying to initiate something new, a new beginning will come to us most easily when we activate our passion, basically, and we activate that inner fire that Aries represents. So when we are aligning and activating things that we really care about, that really ignite something in us, that make us care, basically, that is when you will be able to attract this fresh start much more easily. So I do want you guys to focus on what am I passionate about? What am I motivated to do? And what do I really want to create in the world? Creation, I feel like, is a big theme. It does feel like we are each being called on to reflect on our strengths and our superpowers and how that can be used to create something so unique in the world, something that is totally unique to us. You've been considering switching up jobs. Exactly. That is the perfect time. And I'm going to speak a little bit more about that too. And if your MC is in Aries, then absolutely, it is a perfect time for you to call in that career energy because you have the sun and Venus and the moon, of course, going through your 10th house, which is what MC represents, the midheaven, and the 10th house rules your career, your higher calling, really the work that you're called on to do on a soul level. So if you have Aries around your 10th house, then absolutely career and your professional ambitions are a major area of focus for you. So I will go into the degree of the new moon and what that might mean. But just be aware, we are each called on to bring forth, call in a new beginning to our lives. And I really want you guys to ask yourself this question. What am I ready to do? Like, what am I ready to take action on? What am I ready to start? And not just what am I ready to do, but it's like, what am I dying to do? Like, what am I just like desperately urging to do? Like, what have I been wanting to do for so long? Like, maybe you've been thinking about it for months and months, but perhaps you haven't had the courage or the confidence or just the feeling that you can do it. So is there something in your life that you've been like desperately wanting to do or really feeling like you are being called in that direction, but you are afraid to take the leap? Like starting a new job or applying to different positions or even starting your own business. I do feel like this moon is really going to call into question what is something that we desperately want and yet we are blocking ourselves or we're holding ourselves back from that desire. And I say this because the moon will be squaring Pluto. So I will show a picture of the moon in a second. But this moon will specifically make a square alignment to Pluto. And a square is a challenging aspect. It's sort of like a conflict or something that we need to resolve. So Pluto represents our deepest, most primal urges, our deepest desires, things that we really want, but we're almost too scared to admit it to other people and even admit it to ourselves. Like maybe we feel like it's such a crazy dream that we can't accomplish it, or maybe we feel like other people will laugh at us if we admit that this is what we want. But I feel like each of us, we have some type of like deep rooted desire and something that we know our soul craves. And that is what Pluto is going to activate for us. It is going to challenge us to look deep within ourselves and say, what is it that I truly desire? Even if it's painful to admit or a little bit scary to admit, because the challenge is to acknowledge your own desires. I feel like that's a big theme. It's like acknowledge and just be honest with yourself about the fact that, yes, I do want to quit my job, or yes, I do want to contact my ex, whatever it is. There's a big theme of honesty and just acknowledging that you don't need to hide these desires. We are challenged to acknowledge them and to also believe that we are worthy to manifest them. I feel like those are the two big themes. It's like acknowledgement and just feeling like we are worthy of the things we desire. So, maybe you've been, again, like thinking about moving jobs for a long time, but you keep thinking like, I need to save more money or my boss is going to be mad at me. It's like, no, own your desires. Like own the fact that this is what you want. And if that's so, then nothing else matters. Like you are here to do you, basically, to do what makes you happy. And that is literally the best way for all of us to make the biggest impact on the world. So I definitely encourage you guys. I do feel like this moon with the Pluto aspect, it is going to bring up some emotional challenges, maybe like we may have to face some fears, basically face anxiety around why we can't have the things we want, acknowledge societal pressure that's keeping us from having the things we want. But again, like true, genuine honesty and allowing ourselves to believe and to receive, I feel like are big themes coming through with the Pluto alignment. So go after that job if that's what you want. Maybe you are wanting to take a more spiritual route and you've been like practicing readings on your friends or whatever for a long time, but you never felt like you were ready to get paid or you're deserving to get paid. So that is a great intention for some of you guys to set, is like, I am ready to start getting paid for my services and I am also deserving to get paid. So those two things need to come hand in hand this new moon. So I know with the Pluto aspect, there definitely can be a challenging, like kind of like self-reflection, internal digging, like excavation that needs to be going on. But what I find really exciting about this new moon is the fact that there's so much abundance energy surrounding it. Like the moon is making a difficult alignment to Pluto, but it is making a beautiful, harmonious alignment to many other planets. So I actually want to share a chart of the new moon just so you guys can like have an understanding of what I'm talking about. Okay, let's see if this works, honestly. Okay, so I'm sharing this chart that has exactly where the moon will be on the 11th. So hopefully you guys can see that. I don't know if you can with the comments blocking it, but I just want you to see so you know what I'm talking about. Like I said, if you can read, the moon is in Aries. So you can see the little moon symbol in the sign of Aries. And then you see Pluto on the left in Capricorn. And that red line indicates the square aspect. So you can see that the moon will square Capricorn. But you also see that the moon is really right next to Venus. So the symbol of Venus is right next to the moon, and they're both in Aries. So the moon is aligning very closely to Venus in Aries. The moon is also going to be sextiling Jupiter in Aquarius. So that's the purple line going down to Jupiter in Aquarius. So this to me is really exciting as an astrologer because the moon is making positive, beneficial alignments to Venus and Jupiter, which are both the planets of manifestation, basically, and abundance and attraction. It's really like the law of attraction. So when the moon is making harmonious alignments to those two planets, it's really like the universe is ready to give us what we want, and it is ready to deliver what it knows we need and what we've been waiting for. But again, the Pluto reminds us that it takes deep internal work and shadow work for us to acknowledge and embrace the fact that we are ready and we are worthy of what we desire. Specifically, the moon aligning so closely to Venus is really exciting to me because, of course, Venus is going to open up our own sense of self-love, basically, self-worth, self-esteem, valuing yourself. We value so many things like money or success or achievement, but how much do we value ourselves, basically? And how much do we think we are worthy of those things or deserving, or we are a prize and we shouldn't let other people walk over us because we are a treasure, basically. So I definitely feel like the Venus alignment will really activate the sense that I am loved and I don't need other people to validate that for me, actually. I have all the love within myself and I can be happy with where I'm at right now without external validation. And I also feel this coming strongly because Venus is in Aries, and Aries, it's a very independent sign. It's sort of a me-centric sign. It's all about me and what do I want to do. And I mean that in the best way because when Venus is in Aries, it's really the feeling of like, I love me, basically. Like, I love me. I'm the best. I'm doing me. I'm focusing on me. And I'm not going to let other people, sway my decisions or make me feel like I'm less than. So I definitely love that Venus is in Aries because it's really empowering us to, again, have that self-esteem, self-worth, valuing ourselves, because when we feel like we are beautiful and worthy and a treasure, then we naturally attract the things that we want. We attract abundance because we are putting out the energy that we are so magnificent and glorious that those things will naturally come to us. So a big theme for you guys to think about during the new moon is like, how much do I really believe in myself, or how much do I love myself? And if there's a lack, then understand that that is psychologically getting in the way of what you desire. So the first step is to work on self-love before being able to call in your desire. So there's that aspect with Venus. Then I really love that Jupiter is in Aquarius. And I know I've talked about this a lot, but just to give you a recap, Jupiter is going to be in Aquarius for basically all of this year, like all of 2021. And Jupiter represents luck and success and natural abundance. So Jupiter really says that we have natural success and luck when we do Aquarian things. And Aquarius is the sign of independence. It's really authenticity, originality, being true to ourselves. So it really feels like there's a sense that I make the most amount of luck when I am being my true authentic self. Like, abundance comes to me easily just as long as I am being me and being true to my DNA and being true to my soul desires. I don't have to be anything else. I don't have to act like other people online. Just by being me is how I attract the most amount of abundance. So I definitely love that the moon is making alignment to both Venus and Jupiter in Aquarius, because it's really calling in that energy. Like, I love me. I make my luck being me. I don't need to change for anyone else. And the more that I can love who I am, that is when the abundance comes to me without effort, basically. I don't need to go out there and seek it. It'll just come to me. So yeah, hopefully that excites you guys about the new moon, because again, like there is a lot of harmonious energy going on here. The other thing I want to say about Venus in Aries, again, Aries is a me-centric sign, and I feel like Venus takes it the best way. It's like, I am going to honor my own needs. I'm not going to feel like I'm beholden to other people and pleasing other people. And I know we all want to make more of a difference. Like we want to do things that feel more meaningful or impactful to other people. But I do feel like Venus in Aries reminds us that we really can't make the most difference before we fill our own cup first. And I'm sure you guys have heard that before, but it's like, if I'm feeling depleted and if I'm feeling like I'm not getting what I need and want, then of course, how are you going to provide that for others? So there's definitely a big quality of like self-care, self-pampering, treating yourself, buying yourself luxurious things, whatever that looks like to you. Really filling in your own cup this weekend will be a beautiful way to manifest with this new moon as well. Cool. So let's see if there were any questions so far. Lots of people with placements in Aries, which is super exciting. Someone with Aries in the first house wants to reignite an old passion that you constantly think about. Exactly. It is those types of things. We all have certain things like that like we just think about, but we never take action on because we're not ready, or it's not time yet, or I don't have enough money to do that. Like that's literally what I was telling myself for months before I quit my job to do this whole thing, because my whole thing was I don't have enough money saved. And I didn't realize that that thought was making a situation where I was allowing money to control me, basically. And I was not being in control of my money, but I was letting it control me. I was seeing it as a security. I was seeing it as something that's better than me almost, and I can only get it if I'm a slave to other people, those types of energies. But yeah, hopefully you guys can be really honest with yourself too about what you desire, because this is the time to own those desires. I need a break from work. Yeah, we honestly, we all do probably. My birthday's on the 11th. That's awesome. So for you, next year might really be a very powerful new beginning, or a year that, you may experience a lot of changes, but in the best sense, hopefully. General Aries in 6th house. That 6th house is definitely going to be a strong focus on health and wellness with the Aries combination, because Aries is a physical, it's kind of like the athlete basically, and the 6th house rules health and wellness. So for you specifically, you may want to focus on re-engaging with your body, getting in touch with your body, feeling strong, feeling vitality, all of those things. Okay, cool. Okay, so with that, let me talk a little bit more about what I see going on in terms of the planetary energy. So, we talked a lot about owning your desires, feeling like you're worthy. Some of that is going to come from self-care, self-pampering. But of course, a big reason why we hold ourselves back is because of other people, basically, and what other people have to say about our desires. And I do feel like that is also reflected for this moon, because you see moon in Aries is going to square Pluto in Capricorn. So what I want to say is that there's a battle between Aries and Capricorn this new moon. That is where the square is happening. And for me, this is how I translate it. Aries is about me again. It's the individual. It's all about me. It's about the individual person. Whereas Capricorn is about society and about external figures. It's about institutions and governments and corporations and authority figures. So when Aries is squaring off against Capricorn, I feel like some of you guys will have to contend to the fact that what you want is not accepted by society, or it's not accepted by authority figures in your life, or there are people in your life who are telling you that's not possible. They're trying to have control and power over you. You may also feel like you're not able to do the things you want because you have too much responsibility, or you have too many burdens on your plate that keep you from doing the things that you want to do. So just be aware that you guys may need to work through some of those questions. Am I allowing society to dictate what I should be doing? Am I allowing societal conditioning to tell me like my desires are worthy or not? Like, am I allowing authority figures or parents specifically in my life to tell me what to do? Male figures in my life? Am I telling myself that, I have to be responsible for all these things where even though it feels like I'm being productive, I'm actually procrastinating because I'm using my responsibilities as a way to not honor myself and my own needs? How can I own my own authority and my power, and know that I have the authority to make, I have choices, I make decisions, and no one else can tell me what to say. Again, the focus is on Aries energy. I'm doing it for me. I'm doing me. And that's all that matters right now, because the way that you do yourself, Aries, is what is going to be beneficial to the collective, which is Aquarius. So hopefully that at least gives you the confidence and the permission to say bye to the haters, basically. Just be aware that you may face difficult emotions, or again, those like fears or anxieties kind of bubbling up to the surface this new moon because of the Pluto influence. The best tip I can give, honestly, with that is, I feel like, again, it's going back to being honest with yourself and kind of shedding all of your illusions, or shedding all of the excuses, I guess, the things that you tell yourself why you can't do X, Y, Z. So being honest with yourself. And I do feel like for some of you, there's going to be a sense that you really need to work through certain types of conditioning that is keeping you from your desires. Like, again, societal conditioning, how you think you can fit into society, or, society tells you that you can't make it as a spiritual entrepreneur or whatnot. It's also family conditioning, I feel like, is a big one. Like how your parents raised you, their beliefs on you, like how they have imposed their beliefs and opinions on you. So that's just something to keep in mind, that you need to be honest with yourself, and also do some deep digging to figure out what are the ways in which I've allowed other people to condition me, or to put their opinions on me. So just some things to think about. Okay, new moon in Aries. Yeah, I will talk a little bit at the end about how this might affect people with planets in Aries. So stay tuned for that. Now, a few more things I want to say about what to expect for the new moon. It's like, Venus and the Pluto energy. I talked about Pluto being like, you guys need to own your desires and have the confidence that you are worthy for them. But Pluto will also naturally bring up questions, bring up fear. Like, am I really deserving, or am I really ready? Like, do I really have what it takes? And that is natural. And that is something that you need to experience, because you need to move through it to get to the other side, basically. So just know that even if you have these doubts, it doesn't mean you're not ready. It is actually probably a sign that you are ready, if that makes sense, because you wouldn't be having this if you didn't feel on a soul level that you needed to take that step. So just know that if you feel, or you're questioning that you're not ready, it's actually almost probably a sign that you're getting ready, basically, because your soul knows that is coming up for you in the near future. And the last thing I want to point out here is that, the moon in Aries is going to make a sextile to Mars in Gemini. So you guys can see on the chart that there's Mars in Gemini. The moon is making a sextile, which is another beautiful, harmonious alignment. It's really positive. So I feel like Mars is reminding us that we don't need to be ready. All we need to do is take that first step. Like, take action, just do something. Whether it's a small step or a big step, it really doesn't matter, because as long as you take action, that is how you're gonna feel ready. Because honestly, like, I know from my experience too, like, whenever you're gonna do something scary, you never feel ready. There's never a point in time when you're like, yep, that's it. Like, I've got all the mental preparation. Like, I got the money in the bank. Like, I am ready to go. Like, honestly, that is never going to happen for anything in your life. So Mars reminds us that you don't need to be ready. You just need to take that action, because you're actually not going to be ready until you start doing it. By you taking steps, that is what fully helps you integrate those energies into your DNA. It's not just thinking about it, overthinking, until you never do anything, basically. Taking those steps is really what will fully integrate it into your soul. So just be aware of that. And I honestly, I reflect on this with my own experience too, because I was really, really scared to start doing this for real, basically doing astrology, getting paid for my readings, because I thought, I don't know enough. Like, I've only read my friends' charts. Like, I don't have enough knowledge. Like, I've only been studying for a few months. All the things we tell ourselves to hold ourselves back, to procrastinate, basically. And I honestly did not feel like I actually knew what I was doing until I did a few readings, actually. So it really took the act of being courageous, putting myself in that situation and actually letting the energies flow through me. That is really what got me ready and got me the confidence that, okay, this is the path and I am secure in it, basically. So hopefully this can resonate with some of you guys too, to just take that first step. Cool. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the shirt comment. That's funny. It's hot, so yeah, I need the short sleeves now. You're learning a lot. Yay, awesome. Okay, so to wrap up, I guess, what to expect for the new moon, I definitely feel like it is a powerful portal for new beginnings. And the universe is basically ready to hand you what you want, because the things that you want are what you're designed to do, what you're meant to do. What we are challenged to do with this new moon is to acknowledge our desires, be honest about our desires, own them. Don't let it be this like thing that you keep underneath the surface and you're almost like afraid or shameful of it, because when you do that, you attach energies of fear and shame to your desires, and that's the last thing that you want. Obviously, you want the energy of excitement and joy and optimism. So that is really only going to come once you start taking action. Someone asked, will there be a lot of emotion this weekend? So typically, new moons don't elicit that strong of emotions. That's usually attributed to full moons, because full moons are when the moon is illuminated. The moon represents our emotions. But I do feel like there may be somewhat of emotional quality to this moon because of the square to Pluto, because Pluto naturally brings up some of the things that are really scary for us to deal with, like the fears and anxieties. So just be aware of that. But it might be more of a sense that you're not like super emotional, but you're feeling really reflective, or you really want to just like journal your thoughts, or you're just kind of feeling like you want to go inward. So yeah, that could be something to expect. But for some of you, it may be emotional too. Cool. Okay. Okay. So I do want to mention, some of you guys have asked about the houses and how it's going to impact you specifically, of course. So the moon will be in 22 degrees of Aries. It's 2-2, angel numbers, I guess. So just take a look at where that falls on your chart. Obviously, the chart that we're looking at now, for this imaginary person, it would fall in their 5th house, which rules passion, creativity, dating. So for this person, they might be really challenged to own their desires, maybe when it comes to dating. Like maybe they really want to say, I've been dealing with all the fuckboys and I'm ready to really manifest my soulmate. And it feels impossible right now, but I need to bring in the trust that I am worthy of attracting my soulmate or really finding that connection. So that's just something simple that 5th house people may want to own or bring into their life. But just take a look at which house it falls in for you, because that might be an area of life where you need to have a new beginning or try something differently. Take a different approach to things. Like maybe if it's in your 10th house of career, maybe you're not looking for a job, but you want to be doing something differently at your job, or you want your boss to give you new responsibilities. That would be a good thing to bring forth with the 10th house. I personally have it happening in my 2nd house of money. And of course, I am thinking about like, how can I honor my energy more to focus on things that bring me money and not things, that are not bringing that in, because I want to feel more secure and more stable financially. So that is something that I will set for myself. Of course, if you do have planets in Aries, like you are a sun in Aries, moon or rising, or you have planets like right around 22 degrees of Aries, like 3 degrees before or after, then of course you may feel this a lot more strongly than other people. And you probably have been feeling certain energies for a long time because the sun has been passing through those planets as well for a few weeks. So for you guys, like you really need to, I feel like it's going back to honesty again. Like, are you ready to take off in the ways that you are supposed to do because you have planets in Aries? Like, people with planets in Aries, they are supposed to be fearless, courageous, not afraid to go after what they want, not apologizing for what they want. Like, are you actually doing that? Are you honoring the Aries tendencies within yourself? Are you allowing yourself to be squashed by other people, like the square to Capricorn might suggest? Any of those things, like, are you being the best Aries you can be, basically? And your manifestations will really be potent this new moon. So definitely want to make time for that, for sure. Okay. Yeah, someone had it in their 8th house. That is a little scary. Okay, not to scare anyone. But Aries with the 8th house can sometimes mean accidents. I don't know, something like that, like some physical energy going awry or something. But the 8th house is, again, Pluto energy. It's all about like deep rooted desires, fears, anxieties, but like also things that light you up, things that make you feel like you are alive. So you really want to think about, like, am I feeling powerful in my life? Like, am I around people or in situations where I really feel in control, powerful, like operating at my highest level? And if not, like, how can I release those things? Or how can I focus on other things that make me feel powerful? Like, maybe astrology for you is empowering, or maybe working out for you. But there is a need to question your source of power, whether it's coming from the right things. Of course, you don't want to feel powerful because, I don't know, you're spending, I don't know, doing too much on Instagram, or like being an influencer, but in the wrong ways, things like that. So think about those concepts. Okay. So with that, North Node in Aries in the 4th house. So North Node in Aries in general means that your destiny is to be more Aries, of course, be more independent, be more self-reliant, be more fierce, because your South Node is in Libra, which means that your karma is being too reliant on other people and being too much of a people pleaser. So you really need to embrace being more of an Aries. And for you specifically, that is going to manifest the most in your home and family life, because that is the 4th house. So you are called on to be more independent in the context of your family. That means not letting your parents dictate what you do, not letting, family conditioning or cultural conditioning tell you what you should be doing. It's also about embracing yourself as a leader in the family. Like, maybe you need to be the one telling your parents what to do, or being more of an authority figure for your siblings or your cousins or whatnot. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you have it in the 1st house, then that is really putting an emphasis on your own sense of identity, and whether you are being, again, it's actually about whether you are being the best Aries that you can be, because for you have Aries in the 1st house, which means that part of your core essence is this fire, warrior, fighter energy. So are you honoring that within yourself? Is there anything that you want to change about yourself, even appearance-wise, how you dress, how you act? It's time to call in a fresh start towards whatever it is about yourself, your labels, your identity that is not feeling aligned to you in your soul. Cool. If it's in the 7th house, then of course that's going to talk about being more independent in the context of your relationships, or calling forth a new relationships, or the type of relationships that you want to have. So basically the big focus is around relationships. Okay, awesome. So if you don't have any planets around 22, that's fine if you have no planets around 22 degrees of Aries, because of course many people won't, and actually most people might not. So just focus on the house that you have at that degree, and that will tell you a lot. If you have a 9th house Aries, then you will want to think more about how you can push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Be fearless and confident in getting out of your bubble, expanding your horizons. Taking a risk is a big theme for you too. Like, you are going to be someone who finds that doing something risky, scary, but again, something you really wanted to do, that is going to bring forth so many more opportunities into your life. And you're really going to see the universe respond to you immediately as soon as you take that confident, assertive action. So definitely for 9th house, it's all about pushing yourself to do something that is exciting but kind of scares you. That's kind of the best way to activate the new moon. Cool. Okay, so I do want to talk about some rituals that I have thought about in terms of this moon. And let me stop sharing. Okay, there you go. Okay, so now I can see my face again. Okay, I definitely want to talk about rituals for clearing and manifestation that I think will be really beneficial for this moon. And this is what I was really excited to share actually, because I'm really feeling this Aries energy really strongly. So I definitely feel like new moons are always about manifestation and calling in things into our lives. But I definitely feel like the best way to approach that is to first clear things and release things and let go of things, because you really can't attract abundance when you have no room, when you're all filled with junk basically that is getting in the way of what you want. So I definitely feel like healing, cleansing, like releasing energy is important to you. And for me, what comes to mind really strongly is the word of circulation, like getting things circulating through your body, getting your blood pumping, like feeling yourself physically, feeling your vitality, getting energy circulating through your body, both literally, like physically, your blood circulating, getting your sweat going, and also energetically, like feeling energies flowing through your body. It's funny because I remember the last live I did, it was a moon in Pisces, and I remember I was talking about releasing exercises is to relax and to do self-care and just like take a break from other people and take a bath. And that was good releasing exercises for Pisces. But for Aries, it's totally different. Aries is all about like feeling our physical body, getting ourselves active and moving, feeling our blood pumping, like feeling our heart specifically, and really sweating things out. So I definitely encourage all of you guys to do a quick sweat sesh, basically. This will be a perfect thing to do on like the Friday or Saturday before the new moon, but I definitely feel like there needs to be some kind of release physically through our body. So do any type of exercise that gets your blood pumping, gets you moving. And I really want you guys to not just do it as an exercise, but to really use it as a visualization tool. So while you're exercising, while you're sweating, literally imagine negative emotions, fears, anxieties coming out through your body as your sweat, basically. Yes, dancing would be a perfect way to do it. It's like, imagine things that you want to release coming out through your gross sweat, whatever it is, like just sweating it out, just letting it all go, like letting the energy be released physically. So I definitely feel that strongly, and I personally want to do it myself. So circulation, I feel like, is a big one for all of us, and whatever that looks like to you too. Okay, so sweat it out, get the blood moving. Of course, Aries is a fire sign, so there's also a sense that you can use fire as a release exercise. And I'm sure you guys have heard of this too, but the act of writing down things that you want to release, like getting all of the negativity out, getting all of the things that are weighing on your heart out, get it out onto paper, and then light it on fire, of course, like let it burn, let it go to ashes. While you're doing that, really breathe deeply into your heart center and feel the toxicity leaving your body as a plume of smoke, basically. So you can imagine yourself inhaling clear, crystalline, healing light and exhaling literal black smoke that's containing all the negative bullshit that you want out of your body. So you can do that type of breathing exercise, and it might also be fun to write it down onto paper and burn it. So that's two ways I thought about to release negativity and cleanse and kind of get yourself ready emotionally, physically, and energetically for manifestation. So that is definitely some cleansing exercises to do. Someone asked if this will be reposted, and yes, I will share this after the live is all done. So no worries about that. Okay. So those are two cleansing exercises. Yes, it is better to release on full moons. But for me, I definitely feel like when you're trying to manifest, it's always good to start with a clean slate, right? Or kind of more of a fresh state. So, releasing and clearing can be done anytime. And I just really felt like the word of circulation kept coming to my mind. So whether you use circulation for releasing or for manifesting, I definitely feel like it's important activity for all of us to do. Okay, cool. Okay, yes, and you made a good point, the object of is, because Chiron is in Aries, and it's been there for a few years. It's going to be there for a while, and Chiron represents a soul level wound. So it's been traversing Aries for a long time. For a lot of you guys with planets in Aries, you've probably been feeling this because it's been activating some type of emotional trauma, painful hardship, whether it's from your childhood or even from past lives. That is really have been coming up for you for many years. Some of you guys, it might have revolved around the concept of toxic masculinity because Aries is the masculine energy. So some of you guys might have been needing to focus on releasing toxic masculinity or dealing with it from other people. Some of you guys might have been learning how to balance feminine and masculine energies within yourselves. So this is just to say that you've had many years of having to deal with this wound surfacing. But this new moon is really a good time to call in the fact that, yes, I have been learning lessons for a long time. And yes, it has been difficult. But I'm here basically, like I'm surviving, I'm moving through it. And even if it doesn't feel like it, I am stronger than I was before. And I'm ready to own my strength, my vitality, my power, my physical fire. So hopefully it can be empowering to know that this new moon will heal certain wounds that some of you guys might have been facing for a long time. Okay, perfect. Oh, when is it leaving? Honestly, I actually don't know. I think it's definitely in like the next year or two, but maybe I'll look it up and I'll like put it with the description of this video if I find it. Honestly, I'm feeling this so strongly because I am like quite masculine in some sense. I really need to tap into feminine energy. Okay. So now I want to talk about like activation, manifestation exercises because this I felt like was really, really exciting to me. So this new moon in Aries, it's about activation, starting something new, initiation. Just like activation keeps coming to me. Whatever you want to activate. Maybe that's your courageous side. Maybe that's your entrepreneur side. Maybe that's your spiritual astrology side that you know that you have. Maybe you want to activate a new job or a new relationship, a new business. But that word is coming through strongly. So I feel like the best way for us to activate with this new moon is actually through the sun. I feel like the sun is really important right now for some reason. Right now it's Aries season, so the sun is in Aries, and it's gonna be there until the end of April. But the sun is in Aries right now. You guys probably know that the sun rules Leo, but the sun is actually exalted in Aries. So I know I talked about a little bit about that last week when I was talking about exaltation and fall and domicile. And I will talk a little bit more about that tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But the sun is exalted in Aries, and it is Aries season with a new moon in Aries. So I definitely feel like it is really important right now for us to honor the moon and to use it as a manifestation portal, because I definitely feel like the sun. The sun is a cosmic galactic force. It is a spiritual force that is bringing initiation life, activation light. The sun in astrology really represents the spark of life. So I feel like using the sun is going to be really powerful this weekend. So this is what I'm thinking. On Sunday or a few days after that, when you have time, take some moments for self-reflection, like deeply reflect, sit with yourself, be honest with yourself, acknowledge your desires, just like we talked about. Acknowledge your desires and then write them down onto a piece of paper, because it's always good to put it out into physical form when it comes to manifestation. So write it onto paper. Then I want you guys to take the piece of paper and go outside. Hopefully it's a sunny day, but it's also okay if it's not sunny. Go outside, either lay down on the grass, lie down, sit down, whatever you want, but connect with the earth. Lay the piece of paper next to you so that both you and your intentions are feeling the full force of the sun. Let it wash over you and let it just like bask you in its warm golden glow. Again, even if it's not sunny, which I'll talk about in a second, but go outside, set your intentions out, allow yourself to feel the full force of the sun's spiritual rays, and close your eyes and do some deep breathing exercises to really take it in. Again, really imagine the sun and its rays nourishing you as a spiritual force. So you can imagine like the rays of the sun filling you from the top of your head all the way down to the bottom of your feet, really filling your entire body. Really imagine the fire of the sun, the heat, the intensity, the burning fire. It's almost like lava. And imagine that kind of coursing through your body as if it's filling your bloodstreams. Like imagine the fire of the sun running all through your veins, all through your bloodstream, really filling you up with its fiery creation energy. So take time to really breathe into it, close your eyes, feel the fire, feel the activation of the sun absorbing into every cell of your body. And as it does that, the sun will really ignite your inner fire. And that is what we're trying to get to, is for you to activate your inner fire that we all have. The sun in astrology represents our spark of life, and we each have that within ourselves. So we can use the literal rays of the sun to activate that within us. Feel the sun coursing through your body, feel it igniting your inner fire, and really visualize this ball at your heart center. It starts off as a small ball of fire first, but as you keep breathing, as you keep imagining the spiritual light of the sun, the ball of fire grows bigger and bigger and bigger until it really consumes you and you are a whole ball of fire basically. So I want you to get to a point where you can really feel the heat in yourselves, both physically and spiritually, and you feel this ignition, this activation, and you really feel yourself consumed by that activation. And once you get to that point, then I think it'll be really good for you to stand up, get on your feet, and do a power pose. You know, like people do like the warrior pose like this. Do the power pose, because that power pose is like a warrior pose, right? So feel your fire, do the warrior pose, feel your aggression, your confidence, your assertive energy, your dynamic energy, your fearlessness. Feel all of that doing a power pose, and then feel the fire of the sun really rooting you in through your feet. Like feel all of that fire directly being flowing through your feet onto the ground. And it's almost like they're the roots of a tree. Like they're just like spreading out, like grounding you into the root, making you feel so safe, solid, protected, supported. Like the light of the sun has activated your essence, and now it is rooting into the earth so that you have the confidence and the clarity to go after what you want. So yeah, for me, I was like, this is what I feel like we need to be doing. We need to go outside, acknowledge the sun, and bring it down into the earth. And I feel like that is animalistic nature is such a good way to put it. Yeah, there's like primal quality to Aries, the animal quality. Just kind of acting without thinking, but in the best way. So I definitely feel like this exercise will really help you to feel the confidence that the new moon is trying to bring to all of us. Thank you, Aisha. Woo-hoo. Oh my God, my business coach is on. We actually did some kind of like meditation activation yesterday, and that is actually what inspired me to create this sun ritual, because it helped me let go, it helped me relax, and it helped me own my vitality. Aisha was telling me that a word that was coming through to her about me was vitality, and that I want to feel more strong, more active, more physically, powerful. And I felt like after that, I connected to the sun and how the sun can bring us that power. So yeah, hopefully, shout out to Aisha, because she is honestly the best. Yay! Okay. I also want to talk about, I'm sure some of you guys are actually living in places where it's quite cloudy and maybe you can't feel the actual rays of the sun. So I wanted to address that, because first I want to say it's definitely okay if it's cloudy. Like what we're looking for is the spiritual rays of the sun. So that's not going to be blocked by any clouds, obviously. That's coming through every day, no matter what. So it doesn't matter if it's cloudy. Solar prana, yes. And I actually honestly feel like it might be a little bit more powerful if it is cloudy, because when it's cloudy, you literally can't feel the heat of the sun. You can't feel the warmth. You can't feel the fire. You really have to go deep into your subconscious mind to visualize it for yourself and to feel it within yourself. And I feel like doing it on a cloudy day is actually a more powerful way to activate that fire, because you will just have to put more of your attention, focus, and mindfulness into it. So, I mean, honestly, if some of you guys want to challenge yourself, you might want to do it in like a dark room or something. But yeah, I definitely encourage you guys to go outside, because I feel like we all need more vitamin D these days. So it can be helpful for that anyways. Okay. Awesome. Thank you guys. Yes, it will be posted later, so don't worry about that. Okay, so I talked about the sun ritual. That's what I was really excited by, but I have another idea too that came to mind, and that was important to discuss. You know, like I talked about, Aries is the spark of life. It's creation, it's birth, it's like bringing something new out of nothing, the Big Bang, all of those things. And I keep hearing the phrase like creating is healing. Creation is healing. And I definitely feel like we are all being challenged to acknowledge ourselves as creators this new moon, and acknowledge that it is almost our birthright, because we are each here to create something new, beautiful, special, unique that only comes from us. So I definitely feel like creation is a big theme. And you know, even if it doesn't feel like it, we are all creators. Like some of us do art, you know, of course, make drawings, like paint. Some of us make music. Some of us make videos and TikToks or astrology posts, but we are each creators in some way. So I definitely feel like we need to acknowledge that about ourselves and use it as a healing tool. So maybe just take some time this weekend to create something just for fun. It doesn't have to be connected to any goal or any end purpose, but just the act of you expressing your creative muscles, expressing your ability to make something out of nothing. I mean, that is the energy that is going to call all these new experiences into your life and help you align stronger to the creation stream, to the manifestation stream. So you really want to just be engaging in that activity. You might want to, just like draw something, or whatever it is that what kind of art you make, what kind of creation, writing, journaling, even doing yoga as an act of creation. Those are all the things that I think will be healing and also manifesting, because again, you are aligning to the creation stream, and that is going to help you create and manifest other things in your life. And for me, I was going to tell you guys, like, I think I'm going to use the weekend to bedazzle things. I don't know if anyone else is like me, but like, I love sparkly things. I love gems. And I've always had this like bag of rhinestones that I bought from Michael's months ago. Never did anything with them. Of course, it's just been like sitting there for months and months. And I keep telling myself I need to do it. But the other week, I actually just like picked it up and I was like, I'm going to bedazzle something. Why not? And I actually want to show you guys. Look at this thing. Oh my God. I literally did this a few weeks ago just for fun, but I think it's so cute. Like this like bedazzling thing, I just like glued them on. And this is my iPad stand that I use for client meetings. But I'm just showing you guys because, you know, you might want to bedazzle something, you might want to draw, or just, you know, run around outside, whatever it is. But creating is healing. So I think that's going to be something that makes us feel more whole and more complete. And I'm also reminded of the fact that Venus is entering Taurus next week. I think it's like April 14th, but Venus is going to enter Taurus, and Taurus is all about creation, building, craftsmanship, like working with our hands, building something with our hands. So I think Taurus season is also going to be a beautiful time to make progress on certain things we want to create. Like the new moon in Aries seems to be the one that's giving us ideas or giving us clarity on what we should be creating. And then the Taurus season will help us step into that and help us lay down the plans and help us actually start doing the work. So I definitely feel like creation is going to be a big theme this weekend and continuing for the next couple of weeks. Okay. Is Lady Gaga an Aries? I had no idea. I feel like that actually makes a lot of sense. If you have Venus in your chart, if you have Venus in Taurus, okay, so whenever Venus returns to the same sign that it's in your chart, like Venus entering Taurus, that means you're going through a Venus return, because Venus has returned to the spot that it was at the time of your birth. So Venus returns happen every year, basically. But it is just a beautiful time to activate all the things that Venus stands for, which is love. And it's basically self-love again. So I already talked about those themes with the new moon, but for you with Venus in Taurus, you will continue feeling this for the next couple of weeks, where Venus is really helping you open up your heart to yourself, love yourself, accept yourself, forgive yourself, feel worthy of the things you want. All those things are really gonna be continuing themes for you specifically. And also, when Venus is in Taurus, then other people may be more attracted to your energy because you have Taurus on your chart. So that could also be, it's a good time to date. It's also a good time for money and financial matters as well. So some things to think about for you coming up. Okay, what is my sun sign? I'm Taurus. Oh yeah, my birthday is coming up. I can't believe it. I'm going to be 31. Oh my God, I was like, being 30 is like crazy enough. Venus in Capricorn can sometimes tend to be transactional, I feel, or, because Capricorn's kind of like business minded or practical minded. So they almost can see relationships or other people as a transaction. So just watch out for that is what I'm saying. If you're doing that too much to other people, connect to people emotionally, because it's a little bit harder for Capricorn, and see the value in people for who they are and not just what they can give you or what they can provide for you. But the best part of Venus in Capricorn is that you know what you want and you're serious and you're not going to deal with fuckboys basically. And so own that part of yourself as well. Okay, so I'm going to take questions in a second, but I also want to finish out by saying just kind of like the last ritual or fun exercise you can do this weekend. And this is totally more lighthearted. And maybe a little bit random, but I thought something that came to mind for me was perhaps some of you guys may be feeling the urge to switch up something about your style or your appearance or your fashion style, your clothes basically. I don't know why I'm feeling that, but part of it is because Aries first sign represents our physical body, our appearance. It can also, it rules the first house, which rules our appearance, our physical body, and our fashion style. So with this new moon, like some of you guys might want to have a reset or a switch up in how you present yourself. So whether that is through your clothes or just through your energy, like maybe you guys want more big dick energy basically. But there might be a sense like you want to focus on buying yourself new clothes or buying yourself like a new accessory. I'm also saying this because the moon is going to be right next to Venus, and Venus rules beauty and how we feel attractive. So just shouting out for some of you guys who want to, change your hair color or dress in a different way. And I've definitely heard recently from a few people who are going through their Saturn returns right now. I feel like a few of you guys have been really feeling the urge to change up your identity, whether physically or like mentally, emotionally. But just know that this new moon is giving you the permission, and you should really treat yourself. The Venus alignment says treat yourself, pamper yourself, treat yourself like the prize that you are, even if it means, spending a little. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so I went through everything that I wanted to talk about actually. Can someone also comment what time it is? Because I actually have no idea. I did not bring my other computer to check the time, but I will start answering your questions basically. Okay, Venus in Pisces. I actually have Venus in Pisces, and it's been something that's been hard for me to understand. And I think Pisces is like that by nature, because Pisces in general is hard to understand. It is nebulous, it is boundaryless, it is hazy and confusing. But Venus in Pisces says that you really relate to other people in the Pisces way, which is extremely compassionate, extremely giving, all about service and other people. So I know that for me, that has manifested as something I need to work on, as in like I am too giving to other people and I lack boundaries, and I'm just like, you need help, like let me help you, like I'm here. I think it exacerbated with my Leo moon, which is a people pleaser. But just saying that Venus in Pisces, you may need to watch out for giving too much. You do need a good amount of rest, relaxation, and alone time for you to feel good about things again. Venus is like what makes me feel just good and comfortable. So just be aware of that. But of course, the highest side of Venus and Pisces is like unconditional love and like spiritual love almost. And you have the ability to just like understand what everyone is feeling. And so you can be a great healer, a great coach, a great counselor, all of those things. So that's really special for you. Oh my God, it's 2:04. I think it's 5 o'clock. Okay, so I actually did answer about Aries in the 4th house. So you might want to rewatch this when I post it because I will talk about that again. Or you will hear that when I talk about it. So many questions about Venus. It's funny. Yeah, so the moon is aligning with Venus. So it will be activating that part of yourself. But Venus and Gemini. Gemini is about communication, connection. You need an intellectual connection to feel in love with people, basically. Or you need to feel like there is mental rapport. Venus in Aquarius is almost a little bit aloof, right? Because Aquarius is detached sometimes. They're not the one to be emotional and kind of tell you that they like you. They're much more reserved. But you also have the ability to love people for who they are and for their true authentic selves and to accept people. And so you should look for other people who do that for you as well, basically. Aries in the 6th house, I'd also answer too, but it's a big focus on health and wellness because Aries is the athlete. Cool. Venus in Cancer, of course, is like loving people by being a maternal energy or a motherly energy. Again, it's similar to Pisces because you may do too much for other people and not honor your own needs. And you really need to feel a sense of safety and security in people and in relationships before you can go all in. So don't let yourself settle basically for people who are not giving you that comfort because it's not going to work out in the long run for Cancer placements. Okay. Should we be looking at Venus in my original birth chart? I don't know exactly. So the moon will align with Venus on the new moon, but I think right now we're just talking about Venus on our natal charts. If you have Mars in Aries, then you have natural Aries energy to you. I mean, you are the fighter, you are the motivator, you are the coach and the athlete and all these things. But I feel like, Mars, the shadow sides can also be aggression, being a little bit too combative in getting what you want. So you may need to reflect on like, have I been too forceful getting what I want? Or have I not been forceful enough? Something about that might be things for you to reflect on. Okay. Venus in Taurus. So like we just talked about, yeah, Taurus season is coming up and Venus will be in Taurus soon, but you also really need stability and security in a relationship, or you need to feel like they are loyal. Loyalty is really big for both Taurus and Scorpio. You will be very loyal to other people, but you definitely need to return that back. Okay. Also, you definitely do have Aries on your chart. I know this is confusing for people. People always DM me being like, I don't have Aries on my chart or I don't have Scorpio. But you really have every single sign on your birth chart because every chart has all of the 12 signs. For you, it just might be hidden within a house so that it doesn't show up on the list of houses, if that makes sense. But take a look at your actual birth chart. I like astrocharts.com. And you will just see where it says Aries on the zodiac wheel because it's definitely there. Cool. Okay. Okay, guys. I think it's 5 o'clock, right? Can someone just confirm? I'm pretty sure it is. Because again, I don't have my clock on me. But I think we should be wrapping up for now. Again, I will be posting this. I will upload it to YouTube for the captions. So you can definitely rewatch it later. So no worries about that. Okay, yes. Okay, perfect, guys. Thank you so much for being with me. I really enjoyed this. And I always get so much excitement and joy talking to you guys and connecting with you almost directly. So hopefully this has been helpful. Thank you, Steve. Stay tuned because tomorrow I will make a few posts about planet rulerships again. I know I started talking about it last week, but I will give a little bit more information about rulerships and what that all means. So more to come. Okay, thanks guys. Love you. Bye.